Welcome back to English Compass. Let's be honest for a moment. You study English, you watch videos, you read articles, you memorize vocabulary lists, you pass tests, you know grammar rules, you understand movies with subtitles. And yet, when someone speaks to you in real life, your brain freezes. You search for the right word. You translate in your head. You hesitate. You say, "Sorry, I am not fluent yet." Here is the truth. You are not stuck because you are not smart. You are not stuck because you do not have enough time. You are stuck because you are practicing the wrong things in the wrong way. 3 years ago, I sat exactly where you are. I had studied English for over 9 years. I could read complex texts. I could write formal emails. I could explain grammar rules. But in a real conversation, I felt like a beginner. I was slow. I was nervous. I was always one step behind. Then I stopped asking, "How do I study more?" and started asking, "Why am I still not fluent?" The answer was uncomfortable, but it changed everything. Today, I will share it with you. I will show you the 3 hidden blockers that keep intermediate learners trapped. I will explain exactly why they happen, and I will give you a simple, proven system to fix them. No magic tricks, no expensive courses, just honest practice, clear direction, real progress. Before we begin, take a slow breath. Say this out loud. I am not broken. I am just practicing wrong. I will fix it today. Good. Let's look at the truth. The illusion of progress. For years, I believed a lie. The lie was this: if I understand English, I will eventually speak it fluently. It sounds logical, but it is false. Understanding and speaking use different parts of the brain. One is passive. One is active. You can watch a master cook prepare a meal for 10 years. You will know every step. You will recognize every ingredient. But if you never touch a knife, never heat a pan, never burn a piece of food, you will not become a chef. You will become a spectator. Language works the same way. I was a spectator of English. I consumed it. I analyzed it. I tested myself on it. But I rarely used it under pressure. I avoided real conversations. I stayed in my comfort zone. I told myself, I will speak when I'm ready. But readiness does not come from waiting. Readiness comes from doing, from failing, from correcting, from trying again. I remember one afternoon clearly. I met a foreign colleague at a cafe. We had worked together online for months. We knew each other's professional style. We smiled. He said, "How was your weekend?" Simple question. Basic grammar, common vocabulary. But my brain panicked. I started building a perfect sentence in my head. I checked the tense. I worried about the preposition. I searched for a better word than good. 3 seconds passed. 5 seconds. His smile faded slightly. He repeated, "Weekend, good or bad?" I finally said, "It was fine." I rested. We moved on. But inside, I felt defeated. I knew so much English. Why could I not answer a simple question? That evening, I wrote down everything I did to study English that week. Watched 3 YouTube lessons, 45 minutes. Read 1 news article, 20 minutes. Completed 2 grammar exercises, 30 minutes. Practiced speaking, 0 minutes. The numbers did not lie. I was building knowledge, not skill. I was filling a library, not training my muscles. Knowledge sits quietly on a shelf. Skill moves, reacts, and adapts in real time. I realized I had 3 hidden blockers. They were invisible because I never measured them. I only measured study hours. Today, I will name them. I will explain why they trap B1 learners, and I will show you exactly how to remove them. Vocabulary in context. Listen carefully to these 3 phrases. I will use them throughout this story. Illusion of progress. Feeling like you are improving because you are busy, but not actually building skill comfort zone. The safe area where you avoid risk, but also avoid growth active skill. An ability that requires real-time use, not just recognition. Repeat after me. Illusion of progress. Comfort zone. Active skill. Keep these in your mind. They are the keys to unlocking fluency. The translation trap. The first blocker is the most common. It is the translation trap. Here is how it works in your brain. You hear English. Your brain switches to your native language. You understand the meaning. You think of your response in your native language. You translate it word by word into English. You check the grammar. You speak. This process takes 2 to 4 seconds. In writing, 2 seconds is fine. In conversation, 2 seconds feels like silence. Silence feels like confusion. Confusion kills flow. I used to translate everything, even simple things. Someone would say, "Did you enjoy the movie?" I would think, "Sí, me gustó mucho." Yes, I liked it very much. Yes, I really liked it. Speak. By the time I spoke, the topic had changed. I felt slow. I felt awkward. I felt like I was running with heavy shoes. Why do we do this? Because school taught us to translate. Tests reward translation. Vocabulary lists pair words side by side. Our brain learns English as a code to decode, not a system to live in. The fix is not to stop translating overnight. That is impossible. The fix is to build a direct path between meaning and English. To skip the middle step. I started with 3 simple techniques. Technique 1, image association. When I hear or think of a word, I do not look for my native translation. I look for the image. If I think of rain, I do not switch languages. I picture drops on a window. I feel cool air. I hear soft tapping. The word stays in English, meaning connects directly to the English label. Technique 2, chunk thinking. Native speakers do not build sentences word by word. They use ready-made phrases. Actually, I think, to be honest, that makes sense. I'm not sure, but I memorized these chunks. I used them in my daily narration. When I needed to respond, I pulled a chunk, not a single word. Chunks are faster. They sound natural. They buy you time to think. Technique 3, delayed response training. I practiced answering questions after a 3-second pause, not to delay speaking, to stop the panic. I trained myself to stay calm in the silence. I learned that a short pause is not a mistake. It is thinking time. I repeated, pause, breathe, respond. Not translate, check, speak. Speaking practice, chunk replacement. Listen to this slow example. I will give you a native-like chunk. Repeat it 3 times. Feel the rhythm. Actually, I think it depends. To be honest, I'm still deciding. That makes sense, but let me check. Again. Slower. Match the stress. Actually, I think it depends. To be honest, I'm still deciding. That makes sense, but let me check. Good. These are your new tools. Use them tomorrow. Replace single words with chunks. Your brain will feel lighter. Your speech will flow faster. Grammar note, contractions and natural flow. Notice the chunks use contractions. I'm, let me, it's. In B1 writing, you avoid them. In real speaking, you need them. They are not lazy, they are natural. Your mouth must practice them. Your ears must recognize them. Fluency lives in the space between perfect grammar and real conversation. The perfectionism paralysis. The second blocker is quiet, but dangerous. It is perfectionism paralysis. You want to speak perfectly. You want 0 mistakes. You want the right word, the right tense, the right pronunciation. So you edit everything in your head before you open your mouth. You filter, you correct, you hesitate, you stay silent. Here is the hard truth. Perfectionism is not a high standard. It is a fear in disguise. It tells you, if I make a mistake, I will look foolish. But native speakers make mistakes every day. They use filler words. They restart sentences. They say, wait, let me say that again. They do not freeze. They adjust. They keep talking. I used to record myself speaking. I would listen back. I would count every error. I would rewrite sentences. I would practice them until they were perfect. Then I would delete the recording. Why? Because I was terrified of sharing imperfect English. I thought fluency meant error-free speech. It does not. Fluency means continuous communication. It means getting your message across, even when the grammar is messy. It means keeping the conversation alive. Mistakes are not roadblocks. They are data. They tell your brain what to adjust next. I changed my approach with 3 rules. Rule 1. The ugly first draft method. Every time I speak, I allow myself one ugly version. I do not stop. I do not correct. I finish the thought. Only after I finish do I review. Speaking is drafting. Writing is editing. Do not edit while you draft. Let it flow. Fix it later. Rule 2. Timed speaking practice. I set a timer for 2 minutes. I choose a simple topic. My favorite season. I speak until the timer stops. I do not pause to find better words. I do not restart. I keep moving. At first, I used many filler words. Like, you know. By week 4, my brain learned to search faster. My sentences connected. My fear decreased. Timed practice trains speed, not just accuracy. Rule 3. Mistake logging, not mistake hiding. I stopped erasing errors. I started writing them down. I created a mistake journal. 3 columns. What I said, what I meant, better version. Example. Said, I go to store yesterday. Meant, I went to buy milk. Better. I went to the store yesterday. Reviewing mistakes makes them visible. Visible mistakes become fixed habits. Hidden mistakes repeat forever. Ugly draft practice. Pause the video. Set a timer for 60 seconds. Speak out loud on this topic. One thing I learned this week. Do not stop. Do not correct. Just talk. Even if it is messy. Even if you repeat words. Finish the minute. Now breathe. Good. You just broke perfectionism. You chose communication over correction. That is fluency training. Vocabulary in context. Perfectionism paralysis. Freezing because you fear making mistakes. Continuous communication. Keeping the conversation going even with errors. Mistake journal. A notebook to track, review, and fix repeated errors. Repeat after me. Perfectionism paralysis. Continuous communication. Mistake journal. Your goal is not perfect English. Your goal is understandable English. Perfect comes later. Understandable comes now. The passive learning illusion. The third blocker is the quietest, but the most widespread. It is the passive learning illusion. You watch English videos, you listen to podcasts, you read articles, you feel productive. You feel like you are learning, but if you never speak, never write, never force your brain to produce, you are only training recognition. You are training your eyes and ears. You are not training your mouth or your working memory. I spent years consuming English. I had playlists of lessons. I saved hundreds of videos. I highlighted vocabulary in books. I felt busy. But when I tried to speak, my mind was empty. Why? Because input does not automatically become output. Your brain needs a bridge. That bridge is active recall. Active recall means pulling information out of your head, not just putting it in. It means closing the book and speaking. It means pausing the video and answering. It means testing yourself before the test. I changed my ratio. I used to follow a 10.1 input to output ratio, 10 hours of watching, 1 hour of speaking. I flipped it to 3.1, 3 parts input, 1 part active production. The results were immediate. Here is how I built it. Shift 1, the pause and predict method. When listening to a story or lesson, I pause every 30 seconds. I predict what comes next. I speak my prediction out loud, then I play the audio. I compare. This trains listening plus speaking plus critical thinking at the same time. It forces my brain to work, not just receive. Shift 2, self-questioning after input. After reading or watching, I ask myself 3 questions. What was the main idea? What was one new word or phrase? How would I explain this to a friend? I answer out loud. I record myself. I listen back. I do not aim for perfect grammar. I aim for clear meaning. This turns passive content into active practice. Shift 3, the teach it back. Rule. I pretend I am teaching the lesson to someone who knows 0 English. I simplify. I use examples. I speak slowly. Teaching forces clarity. If you cannot explain it simply, you do not understand it well. Teaching is the highest form of active recall. Grammar in context, reporting ideas. Clearly, notice how I structure explanations. The main idea was, one key point was, this means that. These are reporting structures. They help you organize thoughts. They make your speech sound structured. Practice them daily. Repeat after me. The main idea was, one key point was, this means that. Good. Use these when you summarize anything. They turn confusion into clarity. Now you know the three blockers. Translation trap, perfectionism paralysis, passive learning illusion. Knowledge is useless without a system. So here is your three-step fluency fix. Simple, repeatable, B1 friendly. You can start tomorrow. Step 1. 15 minutes of active input. Choose one short audio, video, or article. Listen or read once for meaning. Pause 3 times. Predict what comes next. Speak your prediction. Then listen, read again. Focus on rhythm, not just words. Write down 2 useful chunks, not single words, chunks. Step 2. 10 minutes of ugly speaking. Set a timer. Choose a simple topic. Speak until the timer stops. No stopping, no correcting. Use the chunks you learned. Allow mistakes. Finish the thought. Record yourself if possible. Listen back once. Note one thing to improve next time. That is it. Step 3. 5 minutes of mistake. Review. Open your mistake journal or notes. Look at yesterday's errors. Say the corrected version 3 times out loud. Write one new sentence using the same structure. Close the notebook. Move forward. Do not obsess. Review and release. Total time, 30 minutes. Daily, consistent, balanced. Input, output, review. This cycle trains recognition, production, and correction. It closes the loop. It builds real fluency. Daily practice template. Repeat this after me. Say it out loud. Make it your routine. I listen with purpose. I speak without fear. I review without shame. I practice daily. I grow steadily. Again, clear, strong. I listen with purpose. I speak without fear. I review without shame. I practice daily. I grow steadily. This is your new mindset. Not I will be perfect, but I will be consistent. Consistency beats intensity every time. Your 14-day fluency challenge. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are just practicing the wrong way. Fluency is not a gift. It is a habit. It is built in quiet moments, in messy sentences, in brave attempts, in daily returns to the practice table. I spent years chasing perfection. I found progress instead. And progress is enough. Progress compounds. Progress speaks. Progress changes your life. I invite you to a 14-day challenge, not 30 days. 14. 2 weeks. Commit to the 3-step fluency fix every day. 15 minutes input, 10 minutes ugly speaking, 5 minutes mistake review. That is 30 minutes. Less than one movie, less than one long commute. But it will change your relationship with English. When you are ready, comment below. Day 1. I choose communication over perfection. I speak, I learn, I grow. I will read every comment. I will reply with encouragement. This channel is not a museum of perfect English. It is a workshop, a training ground, a place where real learners become real speakers. Subscribe to English Compass for more honest stories, graded listening practice, and step-by-step fluency systems. Turn on notifications. Your next breakthrough is not in a new course, it is in your next daily practice. Before you go, repeat this final line with me. I do not wait for perfect conditions. I create them. I speak. I correct. I continue. Fluency is my direction, not my destination. See you tomorrow. Keep showing up. Keep speaking. The path is clear.